Hello, this is Slate with Combo of Rocks, bringing you another video deck of a deck that we built and sold by request. If you're not familiar with us, we make and sell custom budget EDH decks. These decks are light on the budget, so they may not be optimal or competitive, but they're definitely fun and centered around a single theme that you can build on. So this is the first deck we're posting since coming back from vacation. Welcome back, everybody. This is Orvar, the All Form, which is 3 and a blue for a 3/3 legendary shapeshifter with changeling, so it is every creature type. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. When a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Since this guy will be in your command zone most of the time, the second ability isn't super relevant, but we do want to copy our own stuff and target our own stuff a lot to copy them. So let's get into the deck. We do have a clone theme here, so we have Vizier of Many Faces, 2 blue for a 0/0 shapeshifter cleric. You can have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except if it was embalmed. It does have an embalm cost of 3 blue, so you can exile it from your graveyard to bring it back, right? It enters as a token with no mana cost. It's white and is a zombie in addition to its other types. Undercover Operative, 2 blue for another 0/0 shapeshifter rogue. You can have it enters a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with a shield counter on it if you control that creature. So a shield counter allows your creature not to be destroyed by lethal damage or destruction. Mercurial Pretender, 4 and a blue for 0/0 shapeshifter. You can have it enter as any copy of creature you control, except against 2 blue, return it to its hand. So again, you can create a copy of something else if you want to by returning it to your hand. We have the original clone, 3 and a blue, 0/0 shapeshifter. Have it enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Quasi-duplicate, 1 blue. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. With Orvar in play, you will create 2 tokens of that creature. It's got jump start, so you can cast it from your graveyard by paying its mana cost, discarding a card, and then exiling this. Cackling Counterpart, 1 blue, creates a token that's a copy of target creature you control with flashback, 5 blue. Extravagant Replication, 4 blue enchantment. On your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. Summary Dismissal, 2 blue instant. Exile all other spells and counter all other abilities. Duplicant, 6 mana for a 2/4 artifact creature shapeshifter with imprint. As it enters, you can exile a non-token creature. As long as the card exiled with this creature is a creature card, it has power and toughness equal to the last creature card exiled with it, and it's still a shapeshifter. Just good removal in blue. Solemn Simulacrum, 4 mana 2/2 when it enters, search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. When it dies, draw a card. Scampering Surveyor, 4 mana for 3/2 artifact creature gnome. When it enters, search for a basic land or cave. There are some caves in the deck, which is relevant. Put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And Burnished Heart, 3 mana 2/2 elk artifact creature. Pay 3 and sack it to search for 2 basic lands. Puts them onto the battlefield tapped. You can ramp pretty hard of making copies of those creatures. Heraldic Banner, 3 mana artifact. Choose a color. So blue, creatures of the chosen color get +1/+0, and it taps for a mana of the chosen color. Navigation Orb, our colorless Cultivate, 3 mana 2 tap, sack, search for 2 basics and or gates. Puts them on one of the battlefield and another into your hand. Sky Diamond, 2 mana taps for blue. Thought Vessel, 2 mana taps for colorless. It also gives you no max hand size. Arcane Signet, I think we all know what that does. Soul Ring, also very familiar with that card. Wayfarer's Bauble, our colorless Rampant Growth. So 1 mana 2 and a tap, sack, search for a basic land, put on the battlefield tapped. Swiftfoot Boots, 2 mana 1 to equip. Equip creature as hexproof and haste. Meteor Golem, 7 mana 3/3 artifact creature golem. When it enters, destroy a non-land permanent opponent controls. Another good one to copy. Irenicus's Vile Duplication, 3 and a blue sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and it isn't legendary if that creature is legendary. Excellent card in this deck. Self-Replication, 4 blue sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control with flashback, 3 and a blue. Slick Shot Lockpicker, 2 blue for a 2/3 human rogue. When it enters, target instant or sorcery in your graveyard gains flashback. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. It does have plot for 2 and a blue, allowing you to cast it for free on your next turn as a sorcery. This is good for being able to flashback our targeting spells. Micromancer, 3 and a blue for a 3/3 human wizard. When it enters, search for an instant or sorcery with the mana value 1, reveal it to put it into your hand. A lot of our instants or sorceries in this deck target our creatures. You can actually target Micromancer to get another instant or sorcery if you want to. Fairy Miscreant, 1 blue for 1/1 fairy rogue with flying. When it enters, if you control another creature named Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. Not normally good in Commander because you can only have 1 copy. However, if you're making copies of this, it can be very good, drawing you cards and making you an army of 1/1 flyers. Rapid Hybridization, 1 blue for an instant destroy creature. It can't be regenerated. That creature's controller creates a 3/3 green frog lizard. Good removal in blue. Pongify does about the same thing, but it gives them a green ape instead. Mind Games, 1 blue with instant and buyback for 2 and a blue. So if you pay the buyback cost, it actually goes back into your hand instead of your graveyard after you cast it, allowing you to target multiple things throughout the game. Tap target artifact, creature, or land. Obviously, tapping your own permanents doesn't seem ideal, but if this copies them, it is very ideal. High Tide, 1 blue instant. Until end of turn, all islands produce an additional blue when tapped for mana. Obviously great in a mono blue deck. Slip Out the Back, 1 blue instant, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It phases out. So this is a good protection spell, but also can make a copy of a creature. Shore Up, 1 blue, target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains hexproof, and untap it at instant speed. Enter the Enigma, 1 blue sorcery, target creature can't be blocked this turn, draw a card. Slip Through Space, same card, but it's colorless because it has Devoid, even though it costs a blue mana. Unsummon, for 1 blue, return a creature to its owner's hand. Can be used on your creature or your opponent's. Rescue, 1 blue instant, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. Again, targeting whatever permanent you want. You can even target a land if you want to. Orvar will make copies of lands. Maximum Altitude, 1 blue for a sorcery. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains flying until the end of turn with Jumpstart. Dizzy Spell, 1 blue instant, target creature gets -3, -0 until end of turn. You could also transmute it for 1 blue, discarding it and searching for a card with the same mana value. Runaway Together, 1 of the blue instant, choose target creatures controlled by different players, return those creatures to their owner's hands. Teferi's Time Twist, 1 in a blue instant, exile a permanent you control, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. If it was a creature, it enters with an additional 1/1 counter. Planar Incision, 1 in a blue instant, exile an artifact or creature, then return it to the battlefield with under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. Shimmering Mirage, 1 in a blue instant, target land becomes the basic land time of your choice until end of turn, draw a card. If you've got Orvar in play, this is kind of like a Rampant Growth that also draws you a card because you can copy a land. Reality Shift, 1 in a blue, exile target creature. Its controller manifests the top card of their library. Again, good removal in blue. Resculpt, 1 blue, instant, exile an artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. And Raven Form, 2 in a blue, sorcery, exile an artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with fly with Foretell for a blue. Blur, 2 in a blue, instant, exile a creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control and draw a card. Majestic Metamorphose, 2 in a blue, instant, until end of turn, target artifact or creature becomes a 4/4 angel artifact creature with flying, and draw a card. Sage's Road Denizen, 2 in a blue for a 2/3 Vidalcan Wizard. Whenever another blue creature enters under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, or you could say you mill 2 cards, or anybody mills 2 cards. If you create copies of this guy, it can actually get pretty insane, allowing you to mill pretty hardcore. Storm Chaser Drake, 1 in a blue for a 2/1 Drake with flying. Whenever it becomes a target of a spell you control, draw a card, allowing you to draw many cards during the game. Triton Fortune Teller, very similar ability, 2 in a blue for a 2/2 with Heroic. So if you cast a spell that targets it, it draws a card. Wave Crash Titan, 2 in a blue for a 1/4 Merfolk Wizard. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, tap a creature an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its next untap step. Warwing Siren, 2 in a blue for 1/3 Siren Soldier with flying and Heroic. Whenever you target it, put a 1/1 counter on it. Shipwreck Dowser, 3 blue for a 3/3 Merfolk Wizard with Prowess. When it enters, return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. If you target with an instant or sorcery, you make a copy, then you can get that spell back and make multiple copies. Scholar of the Ages, very similar, 5 blue for a 3/3 with Human Wizard. When it enters, return 2 instants or sorceries from your graveyard to your hand. Paragon of Gathering Mist, 3 blue for a 2/2 Human Wizard. Other blue creatures you control get +1/+1. You can pay 1 blue and tap it to give a creature flying until end of turn. Another good one to make copies of, allowing you to grow your blue creature army. Counterspell for 2/2 blue mana, you counter any spell. Get Out for 2 blue, choose 1, counter a creature or an enchantment spell, or return 1 or 2 creatures or enchantments you control to their owner's hands. Disdainful Stroke, 1 in a blue, counters a spell with mana value 4 or greater. Negate, 1 in a blue, counters a non-creature spell. Annul, 1 blue, counters an artifact or enchantment spell. Fear of Imposters, 1 blue for a 3/2 enchantment creature nightmare with flash. When it enters, counter target spell, and then its controller manifest dread. If you copy this, obviously you can get multiple counter spells out of this. Dismiss, 2 blue counters any spell, and you draw a card. Hydrolexic Specimen, 2 in a blue for a 1/4 weird with flash. When it enters, you can change the target of spell or instant to this with a single if it has a single target. It can also be a blue tapped or untapped land, depending if you want to pay 3 life. Selendi Vision, 2 in a blue, instant, look at the top 6 cards of your library, reveal an instant or sorcery, put one of those into your hand, the rest on the bottom in your library in a random order. It can also be a tapped blue land. Into some lands, we have Castle Vantress, enters tapped unless you control an island, taps for blue, 2 blue and taps, scry 2. Cephalid Coliseum, taps for blue and it deals a damage to you. If you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you can pay a blue, tap, and sack it. To have target player draw 3 cards and discard 3 cards. Sunken Palace, this one is a cave. Enters taps for blue, 1 blue, and exile 7 cards from your graveyard to add a blue. And then if you use that to activate an ability or cast a spell, copy of it. And then if you copy a creature, it becomes a token. Hidden Cataract is a cave, enters taps for blue. You can pay 4 blue, tap, and sack to discover 4. Myriad's Landscape, taps for colorless, enters tapped. You can pay 2 and sack it to search for 2 basic lands, so it's a bit of ramp in mono blue. And then we have some islands here. That's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it, but we'll see you next time.